Hello and welcome to the back nine of round 3 for the women's team national championship here at North Cove. We are on the Boulder's course, the longer course here at North Cove that we play. I am Alexis Kerman.
And I'm Scott Hayden.
And we are so excited to be here. We have seen an exciting front nine at this Boulder's course. It's much longer than River Run is, more technical as far as distance goes and landing zones. But it's exciting to be here at a different course. Right now, we have BYU and Mizzou are tied for the round, both shooting 2 under so far through the front nine. So we have hole 10. This is the hardest hole on the course. It's 606 feet. We have 2 hazard sand traps we have to go over with OB along the right side with the creek. And then there's this basket here that sits on the rocks by the creek, of course, that is OB.
I'm Tailey, Rowley.
And we're from Brigham Young University, which is in Provo, Utah. We've been working really hard. We have been practicing weekly, day and night, almost every day. Last year we came and my partner and I took 3rd place, which was a big deal for us. And since then we've been putting in a lot of work to be here today again, hopefully to get even better. And we're excited. We've showed up. We're playing our game so far and just trying to keep it clean and throw our shots. Our plan is to keep our discs dry, make sure we still have our good grip, throw our shots, keep them clean still. I've been practicing in a lot of snow. Utah's getting a ton of snow, so I'm used to the cold, keeping our hands warm, keeping our shots clean, and doing what we know how to do.
Pretty amazing that there's this many women that are just down to play. And normally when we go to tournaments, even out there in college tournaments, we're usually the only team. So we just feel so lucky that there's so many other teams here and so many other girls that we get to know and just become friends with everyone across the nation.
We both got some good distance, so we just want to make sure we get our shots, get them clean out of the hand, keep them safe is a big part of our game plan as well. Take the birdies where we can get them and otherwise stay clean, stick with the par.
On this drive, you're really just trying to air something really far out there. If you can land closer to that sand trap, that's a great landing zone because it makes that second shot over the next sand trap a little easier. It's been wet and slick out here all day, raining. It's kind of lit up here though a little bit, but it's starting back up again.
Yeah, nice shots from BYU, just getting out to the fairway. I mean, this hole is pretty uphill. It's a longer hole, so definitely just trying to get as much distance off the tee as you can here.
Yeah, it's an intense battle. There's a lot of pressure going into this 3rd round right before championship Saturday. Mizzou, we're trying to pull away a little bit, but it's been a struggle. We're shooting well, and BYU is shooting just as good. So it is exciting to see, though.
Yeah, definitely a battle between you two, and then Liberty and Milligan, really close as well, playing there for 3rd right now.
Yeah, Lily Marr is actually on the Milligan team, and she was leading the singles round going into the final 13 yesterday. Great to see the talent in this field. I mean, women's disc golf is clearly growing, and that is super cool to see. Everybody is just airing their drives out to this safe grass area to the left side of that first hazard bunker.
Yeah, you see a nice drive from Liberty there. They get a turnover shot that gets them pretty close to that bunker. BYU and Mizzou both kind of being safe, getting out into this field, just trying to bite off distance here.
So we're definitely further back than we want to be. That second hazard is not far in front of this first hazard and is really wide and long. So you can't just go straight over this first hazard. You really do need to hyzer to the left. And I'm trying to get a little more aggressive, and the tailwind on the hole just knocks me down, and then I get into that second hazard. Hannah with BYU, crushing it out there. I think they're safe over there. There's an OB line, but it's closer to the creek, so they should be in that open area. So that gives Tailey the option to go even further. And she crushes it and just gets into that sand trap hazard that's right there.
Yeah, the high side of the bunker there just catches her and holds her OB.
Forehand play. And I love this. So if you haven't watched the front nine, make sure you go watch the front nine. Maggie throws this heat on a forehand on basically every shot, and she throws it so well. That's a great spot for Liberty to be in. And Julia stays safe as well.
Yeah, just getting caught on the limbs there on the edge.
We've got a really long upshot for par, and I yank my putter and I go straight OB into the creek there. In the front nine, you saw a lot of, if you go into the creek, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose a disc. It's been a really tough round. I think staying mentally in it and physically, hyped up and loose has been a little difficult. We're now halfway through the round, and it's been about over 3 hours on this course in these conditions. So everyone's feeling a little tired. We were all saying, is it over yet? And not quite.
And it's a close battle between you and BYU. I mean, you're really having to stay locked in here.
And then Tailey looked like she threw such a great approach shot, but it kicks off that rock and goes OB, putting the pressure on Hannah, who throws this beautiful turning shot. She hits that same rock, but gets a really favorable kick, and they stick right there.
Perfect shot. Gonna put him into circle one for her par putt.
Liberty with their approach. Maggie just throwing a forehand. Great shot. Liberty's really broken this hole down the best so far.
Yeah, they're super close on these up shots. Not having to do a lot of work here to get up and down. Great shots from both of them on their approaches.
Gives them that chance for that par they want. Par on this hole is going to gain strokes. It averaged 1.47 strokes over par. I'm trying to give it a run because we are so far, and this is for par. But I go long. I tell Renae just to lay it up a little closer, and she was able to. Great par by Liberty. That just picked up strokes there on the field. Oh, Tailey just hits a little too high, but luckily she sits right there, allowing Hannah to still run this putt. And she misses. But that's okay, they're right there.
Yeah, Tailey's fell just right there by the basket, so they're going to have a tap-in bogey. And then tap-in bogey for Mizzou as well.
Here we are at the International Disc Golf Center. The course is just shining for the competitors.
This place means a lot. It's the type of course that where as soon as you think you have it figured out, it shows its teeth.
At a major tournament, there's a different kind of feeling.
Make your career go to the next step. You need to win a major.
We show where we came from and hopefully show where we're going with events like this weekend.
So hole 11 is a par 3, 288 feet. There's these little trees right off the tee. You just want to hit that gap, get out to the open. There's potential to birdie this hole with favorable wind. It's up on this mound though, so there's some potential for death putts and rollaways to happen. Liberty is on the box after their great par on hole 10.
Julia throwing that turnover line out the left side. Great drive. Puts them probably in circle 2 there.
Just getting out this gap feels good, and not getting into the brush on the right side, which Maggie kind of is Hyzering too. But she stays out of it and gets a really nice roll. Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah, allows them to have a uphill putt from there if they want, if they feel like that putt is safer for running the birdie.
And then Hannah's going for that flex shot. She puts a little too much area on it, but they're way out there, so that's just fine. Tailey can be aggressive now. Boom. Look at this drive. Oh my goodness.
Great turnover shot there from Tailey, getting out the gap all the way into circle 1 off the drive.
That's an excellent shot. Renae going to her champion turn. She just late released it, and she actually got caught up on a twig on the tee pad during her run up, but she didn't stop. She was saying, I should have just stopped, but that's okay. And then I just watched my partner hit a tree, and we were kind of talking about this earlier. It's funny playing team doubles. The pressure's off of you, so you can feel more confident, but at the same time, if the first person up doesn't make a good drive, all that pressure's on you to now make a good drive or make the putt, stay safe. At this point, we know that was a very unforced error on both of our parts, and we're feeling pretty frustrated.
Yeah, especially after you watch BYU. I mean, just crush one out there. You're thinking they're probably up there for birdie look.
Oh gosh. Lots of slipping today with this wet conditions. It's raining. The rain's picking back up. There's puddles everywhere. We still left ourselves with a big putt to make.
Yeah, you and Renae trying to get up and down for bogey. You've left yourself with a little bit of work at this point.
Great up by Liberty for their par. So they elected to take Maggie's forehand shot because it got this really amazing roll. And yeah, they're both right there. For birdie, just off the top, but she sits right there. That allows Hannah now to just give this a full-on run. Bang, let's go. Hannah with the birdie. That was great team golf right there. Tailey was an amazing drive. Able to put it close.
Yeah, and then Hannah with the big putt. I mean,
so we're trying to save a bogey here. Mizzou is, and we're feeling the nerves. We were feeling frustrated. BYU just got a birdie. Death putt.
great putt from you. I mean, securing that bogey, trying to limit damage as much as possible on that hole.
Yeah. But that's our third bogey of the round, and I don't know that BYU's bogeyed at all.
Yeah, BYU only bogey on hole 10 at this point, but playing a really clean round. I mean, you already talked about it, that hole 10 averaged almost a 5, so really feels like a par for them anyways.
Now we're on hole 12. This is the shortest hole on the course at 222 feet. It's this island of green area, so everything, the path and that very steep right slope and then beyond, painted by white lines, is OB. So it's a small landing zone. Hannah is inbounds. She actually hit that hill and bank shotted inbounds, and Tailey just yanked it right but stayed OB. And it's really weird to go from bombing all of your shots, just get far down the fairway, to this little 222-foot hole.
Yeah, I think this has to be the shortest hole on the course. and there's really no elevation to it. It's just this painted island that you have to contend with. But like you're saying, I mean, you've been throwing long shots, tough shots all day, and now you've kind of got to adjust here.
And Liberty, they both just went OB, and I take a huge slip.
But great drive from you with that forehand getting up into the circle.
And that feels so good, especially after we bogeyed. I have slipped probably 5 different times at this point, and my back and hips do not like me.
Long round. I'm sure everybody's feeling it at this point. Been a couple slips from people at this point. Definitely the course taking its toll.
But we're there for a birdie, and that feels really good. Liberty didn't land in bounds, so they're here at the drop zone trying to save par, and that was a great bin.
Great run from Maggie there, trying to save par from the drop zone.
It definitely doesn't feel good to take a par on this hole because it's one of the easiest holes on the course.
Long bid from Tailey there, just rolls OB.
Hannah just laying up, knowing Tailey went OB. Smart play by them. They just want to walk away with the par and not get a stroke. Woo! Renae gets that birdie putt. We are happy to have that, especially knowing that the leader board here between BYU and Mizzou is just so close. And you can see the wind picked up a little bit. The raindrops started falling again.
You're about at the highest point on the course at this point, so wind definitely playing a factor now.
This is hole 13, 225 feet, par 3. There's OB long left side of the basket. Can be a little hard to find, but if you early release and Hyzer or skip too much, you'll find it. Renae's going to go with her championship road runner. She's just going to try and get out there to the opening. And she definitely throws this a little long. She's like, I didn't know I could do that. But with that headwind, it just carried it straight.
Nice safe shot out into the fairway from Renae there. Lets you, really try to go after this one.
I'm throwing a Wasp, a 2022 Ledgestone Wasp, just to get some more Hyzer. I was hoping to get some more ground play, but it looks like it just kind of stuck in that wet grass. Hannah, Hyzer's that.
And she is safe there.
Yes, but they didn't know that. They don't know that. So Tailey said, I'm going to go straighter.
Yeah, she turns this one over, really just trying to make sure she gets out the gap. Very safe. Again, just didn't know that Hannah was in bounds up there. Nice shots from Liberty here, just getting out the gap. I think that was probably one of the few backhands that Maggie ends up throwing the whole round. She executes it pretty well.
And they sit right there.
Yeah, good rock, just grabs them, puts them down there within 10 feet of the basket. Lets Julia really have a run at this.
No, this hole is only 225 feet. So I know it's something where at least these top teams would love to get that birdie on it. Seems pretty easy to do, but having a blind tee shot, not being sure exactly where to land your disc or where it will go, especially with some wind coming over the hill, it makes it a little tougher to commit all the way.
Yeah, definitely a headwind off that tee. You know the OB is left. Maybe harder to commit to that, especially if you think the green is fast and you might skip down OB.
So everyone's going to clean up their pars here on this hole. It's not too bad. Some schools got the birdie on it, but not a whole lot. So the leaders up here were pretty happy with our par. So actually, next weekend, there's going to be the Disc Golf Pro Tour Blue Ridge Championship Silver Series, and I believe we're playing a mixture of Boulder and the Gorge. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'll be there competing, super excited to see that, and how all of that's going to turn out here. We're now on hole 14, 614 feet. It is one of the longest holes on this course here at Boulders, but it's super downhill. As you can see, the tee pads are really wet. There's mud all around them, and it's just so hard to get good footing. I have slipped a couple times on these tee pads. I don't think, the grass is any better, but these turf tee pads just being so soaked with water, it was so hard to feel confident with a run-up. Hannah airs it out there. She is shorter than us, Mizzou through, but out in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, nice safe shot, so I think Tailey's definitely thinking about going big here.
And she yanks that towards those right trees. Could she get through? Oh my gosh. When I say BYU gets some tree love, do they get some tree love? She went further than Hannah did, even hitting a tree.
Yeah, Tailey just showing off the power that she really has there. Julia's showing off her power here. I mean, absolutely crushing this drive.
Woo! Let's go, Julia. I know she felt really good about that one, especially after they just got previously a bogey on the shortest hole. She was just able to really rip on it. And then look at Maggie's forehand. She throws a heat. It's a bottom stamped 2022 Ledgestone heat, and she flips it up so beautifully every time. Rides this downhill slope right in the middle.
BYU up now, looking to try to get up for birdie. Tailey throwing this wide hyzer down to the basket.
She gets great distance on this, and she hits that first hill area. So there's kind of two mounds, or a mound before the mound the basket sits on. Hannah has a great shot, but she turns it over. We do have a headwind, slight headwind on this hole. Renae's throwing a champion Roadrunner. Oh, and it's just so beautiful. Look at this shot. We did not realize it got this close. So that was a great shot by Renae, getting over the little mound.
Yeah, nice little skip and then roll to the basket there from Renae's shot.
I'm trying to go a little more hyzer here, and I yank it. I slip down onto a knee again, and I throw it way too far.
You really crushed it. Not quite in the direction of the basket, but definitely putting some juice on that one.
I should slip more often, huh? Julia, huge hyzer. And she is just over that mound. They're looking at the basket from there, but a little scary putt with that pin on the top of that second mound there.
Yeah, I believe she's just outside the circle from there.
Oh my goodness.
Just another beautiful forehand from Maggie. I mean, she's been flipping up that heat all day, just throwing it perfectly. I mean, amazing shot to get up into the circle.
They are right there in circle one for a birdie putt. So good. Tailey laying up. Yep, right there. And, playing teams just allows Hannah to go for this putt. Oh my goodness, she gets a great height though. Love to see that. I want this birdie. I'm trying to get this.
Great putt from you there. That ties it up between you and BYU since they're going to be tapping in par here. So definitely y'all are feeling good at this point.
I think making that putt to save a bogey on hole 11 really changed things around for us. That was a great putt for a birdie by Liberty as well. Getting birdies on this hole feels really good, being the longest hole on the course.
Yeah, they really broke down that hole well. Great drive from Julia, great upshot from Maggie. I mean, perfect team golf.
This is hole 15, 294 feet, really uphill off the tee. I mean, you've got to get up and over this mound. There's a path it's not OB, but it's a very technical shot to get all the way up there for a look for birdie. I'm mashing on a crank here. I get the turnover I want, but a little too much turn.
Yeah, maybe not quite the height you were looking for there. Really good shot, though. I mean, you're up on top there.
It was still a mash. Renae also throws that same line. She flexes it out a little more than I do. Not ideal, but we do get a lot of progress.
Julia turning this one over just a little bit. Kind of cut rolls there on the hill, but definitely not where she's looking to be.
Yeah, kind of turned over way too much and is not in a good spot.
Yeah, I know she was mentioning it throughout the round, just kind of struggling with some grip locks. Probably because of the rain, really having to think, more about her grip than she probably normally has to.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, you don't want to early release in, so then you overcorrect and yank it.
Nice shot by her partner, Maggie, though, getting up to the path. Hannah putting one out there just short of the path as well.
This hole had no birdies on the day, so it was really good if you could get up and down for a par on this one.
Yeah, one where you're just really thinking, I want to make par as easy for myself as possible.
Definitely. It's a tricky shot up to this green. They are on this slope. Look, it's still way uphill, but that was a great shot by Maggie with her forehand into that green area.
Perfect shot. I mean, she really has that forehand just dialed.
You can see there's some guardian trees around the green area, so it's easy to undercommit or just hit one of those trees and kind of do what Julia did. But that's okay because we love our doubles partners.
BYU having to take a little relief here because their initial shot has landed in this big puddle. Trying to get the sure footing. Tailey's going to throw a great forehand shot up to the basket, though.
And then we don't have a putt, so we're a little disappointed in that. We're shooting through all these little guardian trees. Renae throws a zone. Oh my goodness, and she hits edge and just rolls. Oh my gosh, what a rude roll.
Yeah, really unfortunate roll there. I mean, it was a really good shot. Just catches edge there at the end.
I'm trying to hit the same line. It's super tight. I make it through, making it easy for a par.
Yeah, great little jump putt there from you to get through the line, just secure that par.
So we're all cleaning up pars here. The leaderboard is tight. Milligan is catching on to Liberty at this point for third place. So they're playing a really great round. But despite the conditions, I think we're playing really well.
Oh yeah, everybody definitely playing solid. I mean, BYU and Mizzou, both 2 down at this point in these conditions. I mean, just really impressive stuff.
I think we're into our 5th hour of the round here on hole 16. So hole 16, 330 feet downhill. There's this hazard bunker on this left side right in front of the pin. The play is to do exactly what Renae is doing.
Renae just crushing her turn out here. A little bit of a skip towards the basket.
We're probably 25 feet from the pin there. So I just saw my partner throw an amazing shot. I'm just going to try to get closer. But I take a lot of power off the Zeus because I knew we had a headwind. And I land a little short. But I'm in bounds and I'm not in the bunker either. So we have options. And Julia, you see her front foot there? It slips.
Yeah, all of these tee pads are completely soaked at this point.
She kicks in bounds, doesn't she?
I believe so.
Yeah, she gets a great kick inbound, so Mag can do what she needs to do.
Maggie's shot getting a little turned over there, but she's in bounds as well.
And she lands right before that hazard bunker, and it actually has a really good look to get up and down. Tailey, everyone out there, we know she has the power to get past this pin, but she kind of throws a little nose up, but she lands safe as well right before that hazard bunker.
Safe in bounds, really allows Hannah to go for it here.
And she rips it. It looked a little early, but it gets that turn in that headwind. We're asking it to push.
Just lands in the bunker.
But that's okay, her partner's safe. And that was an error by Liberty there. I don't know if Maggie was trying to run that or not, but Julia just needs to pitch up, and she does so really perfectly, guaranteeing their par.
Yeah, great up and down from them there. Good team golf.
Oh, I thought Tailey was going to get that. Great bid, Tailey.
Yeah, BYU's been dangerous from this range all week. I mean, you're definitely thinking that they could make these. And a nice bid from Hannah there, too. I mean, just a little short.
So we know we have this birdie opportunity. And I said, no, let me go into the hazard instead. Yeah, so now I'm in the hazard, and I told Renae to run it, and she said, I'd rather play safe. She's probably more in that happy medium that I'm not.
Yeah, you're talking about putting the pedal to the metal, trying to hit the gas, grab strokes on folks, and Renae, she's thinking, let's not lose strokes.
Yes. That's why I love her, though. You have that partner that can kind of rein you back in and make smart decisions. All right, we're hole 17, 569 feet. Massive downhill. OB along the left cliff area, OB on the right side of that walking path, and this basket that's situated right by the hazard bunker. Mizzou's up first. I'm throwing a lightweight crank. We did have a slight headwind, but I knew that it was super downhill. And it flexes, it turns, and is fading towards that OB area. But it sticks in the ground, and so we are safe and out there. This is a par 4 for the women's field. Renae throwing that champion turn, and she throws it too high, finds that OB way down that left cliff area. But that's okay because we have an inbound drive.
Just another grip block from Julia there. Definitely struggling with some releases here at this point. I mean, we're deep into the round, 5 hours at this point.
It's raining again. Oh my goodness. And so all Maggie used to do is land in bounds, but she's Hyzering out of bounds. But she gets this crazy roll. Look at that. She gets this roll back in bounds. And Liberty is stoked about that, as they should be.
Hannah getting a little turned over here on the drive.
She also hits out of bounds, but then kicks nicely back to that path, which is inbounds.
That path is inbounds there, so Tailey can really go for something big here.
And you know she's going to because she has the distance and the power. But she throws it a little high.
Gets it on that initial, Hyzer line that I think she's going for, but it just flexes out and lands OB.
So they're taking Hannah's drive from the path here. Oh, and then Tailey's trying to get close to the pin. There's opportunity for a 3 on this hole for teams with some distance. But she does find that hazard. So Hannah's airing hers way wider to avoid that hazard. A really smart play, really great teamwork on that.
Really good safe shot from Hannah there. I mean, they know they can get up and down. They have confidence in their upshot game.
Liberty nice and safe right there for their second shot.
Maggie's actually in bounds there on the backside of the bunker. That's going to give them a long look for a birdie there.
So we have made pretty good progress up the fairway, and we want the birdie. But Renae throws her putter a little too low. It's really hard to commit, especially knowing there's that hazard right there. And we do have a right to left wind, and that's why we saw some of the discs fade out to that left OB on the drives. And I undercommitted, find the hazard. But we're there. We can get up and down for a par. Hannah jump putting, putting it nicely right there.
Yeah, great upshot from Hannah there. Gonna let Tailey really go for this, try to throw it in here.
Tailey just, you know, giving the bid, so she gives it the juice and goes long in that hazard.
It's probably not something you're practicing too often, your 150-foot throw-ins.
You don't go out to the field and do that? I'm trying to give it a bid because, you know, why not? But again, I yank it to the right, so we're good though. I tell Renae to run it because I'm there for a par.
Nice run from Renae there. She's really spinning it just off the cage.
So this is a birdie putt? Oh my goodness.
Just off the cage there for Maggie. I mean, they've had a lot of these Circle 2 runs, and they've been really close on a number of them.
They're hitting metal, that's for sure. Just giving yourself the opportunity, it feels good, so. Everybody's going to tap in a par. There was only one birdie on the day by Lily Marr and Amanda Kent with Milligan. Again, they are right now close to Liberty, right, for third place. So it's really between Liberty and Milligan here and this finishing hole 18 to see who's going to be on lead card.
Last season we had around 30 qualifying events. This year we've grown to more than 70 regionals and conference events for this season. That has led to more than 88 schools in attendance and 700 competitors. The energy you see from the players and the passion that they have when they're representing their favorite school or their university is incredible. It really makes this event special. You don't see that anywhere else in the disc golf world.
All right, we are hitting that 5.5 hour mark for this round. We are on hole 18 finally. It is 609 feet, a par 4 for the women's division. There's a sand trap on that left side, as well as OB lining that left side ridge area, and then OB to the right of this path. I'm trying to turn something over through this big gap. Oh my goodness, and I decide to not do that, but I do stay in bounds. Not the play there. Don't do that.
You are in bounds, though, so Renae can really commit to this shot.
She's throwing her wave, and we had talked about what she should do. She didn't want to do this shot, but I told her if she committed to it, she'd have a perfect drive just like that. That was beautiful. A beautiful shot shape by Renae, just turning out of that gap, exactly what you want. Julia seemed to yank that again. She's been struggling, as we've kind of said, but she gets great distance out there.
Finds her way through the trees there, out in the fairway. Lets Maggie really go for this.
And Maggie has a beautiful forehand Hyzer shot out the gap and gets some great distance.
Another hole that really shapes well for Maggie's forehand game. Good roll up the fairway, too.
Wow. Love to see it. Hannah Hunter with BYU. She goes too straight into Hyzer. It's going towards that OB, but it sticks and it is safe. So they got really lucky there. You know Tailey's trying to go more aggressive now. And she also releases this Hyzer. She's tracking towards that OB. I think that's going to find the OB for sure. Yeah. But that's okay because Hannah did stay in bounds.
They are in bounds here. Probably not as far up the fairway as they'd like to be. Tailey going to put a big Hyzer out here into the fairway.
Really great shot, especially from being so far back. That was a really nice shot by Hannah as well. So they made really good progress on their second shot. They should be able to get up and down for a par. Liberty's going to be up next. How far would you say we're from here? About 350?
Probably 350, and then with the uphill, I mean, probably playing closer to 400 at that point.
And we've got a headwind as well.
Yeah, definitely a difficult hole to even think about getting the birdie on.
Which makes sense because it gave no birdies up. So they're out there, able to hopefully pitch up for an easy par putt. I'm going for it here. I choose a lightweight disc and I yank it up the hill. And I get a great kick. We did get some tree love, so we'll take it. Renae has a great shot with her champion turn. Airing it out there. We're at the bottom of the hill, but that's still a really difficult approach shot.
It's definitely a nervy shot. The basket, again, is elevated.
And it's uphill, and you want to place your shot on the top of the hill. You don't want to be on the bottom of that basket because it makes it extra elevated.
Yeah, good shot by Hannah there. I mean, she gets to the top of the hill. They're basically going to be level with the basket from where she is.
Tailey, a little too Hyzer, and she's more down the hill than Hannah is. The Zoo up next, and we're just trying to get to the top of the hill. Throwing my Sparkle Z Comet. Woo.
Nice little run there.
Would have been nice if that just went in, you know? But I'm up there on top of the hill. Like we said, we wanted to be there. I told Renae to throw it in. But she gets closer, so, you know, can't ask for much more than that.
Really good shot from Renae. I mean, just parks the basket, making par super easy for you all.
Liberty doing the same. Really great shot.
Yeah, great up shot there.
And that's fine because they're right there for an easy par. Now BYU has to make this putt, and that's nervy, but Hannah clutches it.
Great putt there from Hannah. I mean, you're staring down a hill, even with a partner. That's a really nervy putt, especially if she rolls away. Great putt from Hannah.
So we're all tapping out our pars, finishing up this 5.5, almost 6 hour round here in the rain. It's getting colder. It got much colder as the round went on. We were all so done with this round, but your leaders here did really good at managing these conditions. Mizzou and BYU ending 2 down for the round, making them tied going into championship Saturday. And then Milligan shot a hot round as well at even par, tying it up with Liberty for tied third. And so actually going into Saturday, it'll be Mizzou, BYU, and Milligan on the lead card there. So we're excited. We've got Oklahoma State at 12 over par total, and then Southern Arkansas at 13 over par. So there's going to be a battle for third place and fourth place there, as well as first place. So make sure to tune in for post-round coverage on Saturday. Thank you for watching our back nine of the Boulders round 3 here for the women's team champion.